This time, it's the invitation-only precision rifle match with a massive cash payout. The Armageddon Gear AG Cup. The 20 best riflemen in the country battle it out for $41,000 in prize money.
This is Shooting USA, reporting the stories of America's shooting sports.
The sport of precision rifle competition has seen a tremendous rise in popularity and participation over the last 5 years. And it goes without saying that the level of competition at the leading edge has risen as well.
That's true. And it's that leading edge that we've set out to test with this new format. The top 20 shooters across the nation have been invited, all with national level wins. Now, this format is similar to what they have seen before, but there's big money on the line. Now let's meet our competitors.
Brian Reese Allen from Rayville, Louisiana.
I'm Ben Gossett. I'm from Warrenton, Missouri, and currently stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia.
Robert Everett Brantley. I'm from Forest, Louisiana.
Clay Blacketer from Oklahoma, a little town called Leedy. Right now I live in Oklahoma City.
Okay, my name is Matt Utroska. I'm from Kosciuszko, Mississippi.
Marshall Brandon Hembry from Atlanta, Georgia.
Joseph Walls, I'm from Palatka, Florida.
Jesse Tate Streater from Tishomingo, Oklahoma.
My name's Matt Rooks. I'm from Columbus, Ohio.
Derek Love from Colorado Springs, Kansas.
I'm Jason Greene, and I'm from Kentucky.
Justin Lynn Watts, and I'm from Oklahoma.
My name is Austin Orgain. I'm from Hammond, Oklahoma.
Bradley Reese Allen. I'm from Rayville, Louisiana.
Yep, my name is Dan Jarecke. I'm from North Texas.
Ken Sinofsky. I'm from Kennerdale, Pennsylvania.
My name's Dave Preston, and I live in Pennsylvania.
My name's Jake Vibbert from Cheney, Washington.
John Pinch, Staten, Oregon.
Keith Baker, Akron, Ohio.
20 individual competitors from all over the country, all with gear that wins. And as you would assume, there are some parallels.
For sure. 6 of the 20 choose a chassis, predominantly MPA. The other 14, they're in stocks. 9 of them from Foundation, the rest from Manners.
That's interesting, but what about caliber?
So I shoot a 6mm dasher.
My dad shoots a 6 dasher, and that's what he builds most of the time, so I just go with it.
But I don't know why they associate me as the dasher guy in such a way.
This is 6 dasher. I switch back and forth a lot between the 6 dasher and 6 Creedmoor, depending on the style of match and stuff we're shooting. So,
you never change gear at the last minute. I changed all my gear. I'm running a new cartridge, everything. I brought a T5A thumb hole stock that I used to shoot with a Gap 6 GT.
I shoot Clay's Cartridge Company ammo, and he had this 6 GT loaded up, and he's like, man, give this thing a try, and I said, okay, no problem.
6 BRA. I think there's a few of us shooting BRA.
6 Ventura Sackley.
It's straight taper 28-inch 6 BRA.
It's a 6 BRA.
And shooting a 6 dasher.
I run a 6mm dasher.
Shooting a 6 dasher.
So I shoot a 6mm dasher. Love it. It's just money.
Oh no, the dasher guys are winning. VR-based guys are winning.
And I'm running Virgin dasher brass in this match.
But I've been shooting the Creedmoor now for like 8 years. I know it. It's a 6 Creedmoor. I'm shooting the new Hornady 110 A-tips.
So when I was looking at 6mm, I don't know, 6XC sounded interesting.
I've been running a 647.
It's a 6mm BRX.
The caliber counter tells the tale. 6mm is the answer.
The best competitors with the best gear, but we really want to test the whole game. That's why there's serious cash up for grabs.
$20,000 for the winner plus another $21,000 in stage money. That will add to the stress. But will it change the competitor's game?
Not even a little bit. I'm still gonna try and hit every single target I can. And that's the biggest thing that I've learned. It's not, oh, this guy got an 8 on this stage, I need to get a 9. It's, I'm gonna hit this shot. When you hit that one, I'm gonna hit this shot. And you just go like that throughout the day, and it'll take care of itself.
It's hard because the cash goes to first. There's no second and third, so that's gonna be a painful second to whoever gets second.
The second place guy, if he loses by 1 point, is gonna walk away with $0. And in my opinion, the guy that wins this match he's going to walk away with 20,000 even because he's going to take his time on the shots and probably not get any stage wins.
I like pressure. I work under pressure every day. Every one of these shooters here all handle pressure pretty daggone well. It'll be really cool to see where it ends up, right?
Just going to run with what I know and not let any of the other competitors affect me or whatever. I'm going to shoot my game and stay with my game.
20 grand's huge. It's ginormous. It really is. I mean, it would be great for my family. You know, basically what I told the wife, booking a big elk hunt and she can have the rest.
You know, I really believe I can win this match. And so I'm going to take the approach to clean every stage. I think there's going to be a handful of guys that after maybe 5 or 6 rounds, after 5 or 6 stages, they maybe don't shoot too well and they feel like I'm out of contention. I'm going to go ahead and just try to burn through these stages.
Out of the 20 guys that are here, there's 12 to 15 of them that have all beat each other repeatedly. So it's a toss-up. I mean, it's just a matter of who decides to miss less targets this match, who's going to win it.
I start amping myself up, and I get so nervous that it's bad. My nerves are jittery. So I'm just trying to just keep it out of my mind and think clear.
I'm going to shoot my speed. I'm not going to try to hurry. I'm just going to shoot my game, and if I hit them, if I start bombing stages, then yeah, I'm going to turn it up.
I mean, everybody here is a really good shot, so I mean, whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, they're probably going to be the winner after 2 days.
I'm personally just going to shoot my normal game, treat it like any other match, not worry about the time. I'm just going to do whatever I need to do to get as many impacts as possible. If I happen to pick up a stage win or 2 on the way, you know, that's just a plus.
It's an honor just to be invited, but the money it's unreal.
I like the betting aspect of it. I like the pressure aspect of it. Some people are really comfortable in their own little box, and some people are comfortable everywhere. You know, we're going to find out really quick this weekend who's comfortable everywhere.
Big money and 20 of the best precision shooters? Can't wait to see how this shakes out.
The stage is set and the action starts next.
Shooting USA is brought to you by Smith & Wesson and the new M&P 380 Shield EZ with an easy-to-rack slide and easy-to-load magazine for personal protection and everyday carry.
With a storm front fast approaching, the Day 1 courses of fire begin with stages 9 and 10.
Stage 10 is 5 targets from 350 to 500 yards. Competitors will build 2 positions on the platform and engage 5 shots from each position. This stage is all about speed.
10 match points up for grabs. Tate Streater is known as one of the fastest shooters in this match. This should be a strong stage for him.
I'm a really fast shooter. I'm one of the fastest shooters in the country just by judging by the PRS skill stages times that we do. I'm going to try to stay on pace. I'm not typically a positional shooter. I'm from out west and we shoot field style matches.
Tate is just now putting some elevation into the scope. And that's an interesting strategy. These are generous targets on this course of fire. 8-inch circles until the far target, 1 more circle at 453, and the 480 target, that's a 10-inch square. The goal of this stage is to lure the competitors into running it faster than they'd like to.
Second position over the rail looks very solid. Tate is on a roll. And just like that, it's a clean 10 of 10, and it's very fast, 51 seconds. He'll be happy with that.
How'd it go so far?
And it went good. Got the first stage jitters out of the way, cleaned it.
Engage. Like Tate before him, Austin Orgain is going to kick this stage off into prone. He's spending valuable seconds getting into the position, but it will be solid.
He's holding all of the elevation corrections for the different distances in his reticle. It's fast, but it doesn't look rushed.
Because when you start rushing, you'll start slapping the trigger and then you start missing points, you know, inadvertently. And to me, that is still a mental mistake. So then you start beating yourself again there. Slow down just a little bit and get your hits. And then at the end of the day, hope you have more hits than everybody else.
Austin's second position is also on the rail, and once again, he's holding his elevation. 10 for 10 and 50.43 wins the stage.
Austin edges out Tate by less than half a second. 11 other shooters take all 10 possible points. None even close to the two 50-second runs.
It's a tough start for Brandon Hembry and Derek Love. Both dropped 3. Let's see how they fare on the next challenge, stage 9.
There are 5 required positions here on 5 different rocks. Each has a number and a corresponding target.
The rocks are numbered out of order, so it's a choice. Go for speed, moving across the rocks, or take the time to move a little more, but shoot targets near to far.
Derek Love is looking to recover from that difficult start on stage 10. And this stage has a memory aspect to it. Remember, these competitors have had very little time to work out their stage plans.
There are some guys that will write their dope down and mentally go over the stages the day before the match. I'm not one of those guys. I like to read it, see the barricade, and then I decide what my position A is going to be, and then if that doesn't work, I have a position B. Reading the course of fire the night before doesn't work for me. I like approaching it, you know, as it happens.
Derek is playing the positions in order. This minimizes the potential for shooting the wrong target from the numbered positions.
There is no better way to get back on track than to clean a stage. Derek Love takes all 10 possible points.
Robert Brantley has turned up this morning with a bad stomach virus. But he's not about to let that get in the way of his chance at the money and, more importantly, the AG Cup.
Like Derek, Robert is playing the positions in order, a safe route considering the circumstances and his depleted physical state.
He's smooth and deliberate through the final positions, and that pays off. 10 for 10 and 88.23 earns Robert Brantley the stage money.
Here's the leaderboard after 2 events. 5 shooters remain clean, earning all 20 possible points so far.
Robert Brantley heads up its second group. His $1,000 comes from the stage 9 win.
Austin Orgain is in with 18 and his stage money from the win on stage 10. Derek Love is 3 down so far, and it's a slow start from Joe Walls and Brandon Hembry. We're just getting started at the Armageddon Gear AG Cup. One event took place while we were away, and the field at the front has narrowed.
Joe Walls took the $1,000 for this stage and 9 of the 12 stage points, putting himself back into the hunt.
The biggest fall came from Dave Preston, putting up a 3 on stage 1. Brandon Hembry and Matt Utroska are still looking for traction.
Engage.
Stage 8 will be a fun one. 2 targets, an 8x11 rectangle at 550 and a 12x15 rectangle at 696.
2 shots, 1 on each target from 5 positions in the truck, so there will be a lot of movement.
Austin Orgain is a lefty. He clearly wants to take advantage of the position over the cab of the truck, and to do that, he's running his gun support side.
2 hits to get started, now he's back shooting strong side. That move there satisfies the stage requirement. The size of these targets and the distances is really allowing the guys to hold the elevation in the reticle. The big challenge is finding stable positions in this truck.
After a rough start in the match, Brandon Hembry seems to have found his groove. Brandon puts together 9 of 10 possible in 97.49 seconds.
Keith Baker and Jason Greene also put up 9-point runs on stage 8. but it's Brandon Hembry with the quickest time that earns him $1,000 for the stage.
Jason Greene has put himself in front. Vibbert, Baker, and Pinch are 2 points back.
Bradley Allen and Austin Orgain are in striking distance. After a 0 on stage 8, Dan Jarecke is all alone with 23.
Stage 4 is the first opportunity for competitors to really stretch it out. A 16-inch circle is set at 1,046 yards. Marksmen may work from the prone or from the bench. 2 shots and move.
There are a total of 10 points up for grabs. Clay Blackadder just dropped 2 of them.
I didn't see my first shot, saw it on the second one, checked my arm, realized, pretty simple mistake, and then hit the rest of them.
The first shot is vital. Hit or miss, you've got to get a read on it. Bradley Allen does exactly that. And from there, goes on to rack up 9 match points.
My first wind call was a little off, but corrected for it, and anyway, kept going and ended up doing all right.
Coming into this event, Joe Walls is second to last in the standing.
I'm a pretty good prone shooter, I think, but equally so with the game changer. I think I'm about 50-50 maybe. At the end, we'll let my shooting do the talking.
The confidence in his prone is evident, and Joe is all over this target.
Joe is the only man to clean the stage and the first to rack up 2 stage wins.
Oh, it went great. I cleaned it. It was awesome. Felt great. Makes me want to do it again.
That performance gives Joe 2 stage wins and $2,000 in the bank. Jake Vibbert, Bradley Allen, and Keith Baker overtake Jason Greene for the overall lead, and Matt Utroska puts up the only 0 for the event, taking over last from Dan Jarecke. More from the inaugural Armageddon Gear AG Cup is next. 2 events took place while we were away, and Bradley Allen is now out front by 2. He's got $1,000 in stage money. Ben Gossett picked up $1,000 in stage money, and Brian Allen and Matt Utroska are now tied for last.
The stage money is spread out pretty evenly, and we still have 3 events to go for day 1. So let's get back to the action.
Stage 7 is shot from 2 positions. First, the roof simulator. 5 animal-shaped targets, 2 prairie dogs, 2 coyotes, and the far target is a pig at 720 yards.
Matt Utroska is working to get his match back on track, and this stage will help. Matt is clean for the stage in 96.98.
It was a good run. Cleaned that stage. Little prairie dogs and coyotes at 600, you don't have much elevation to miss by, so I was pretty fortunate to get out of there with a clean. I have a lot of making up to do from a 0'd stage. That really helps.
Like Matt Utroska, Brian Allen is also working from the back of the pack in this match, and stage 7 will go well for him also.
Brian is off the pace set by Matt, but he gets all possible points for stage 7.
And I just stayed in my gun and watched every impact, and I never tried to correct the wind call. The wind I chose from the beginning was perfect all the way through. So.
Keith Baker is within striking distance of the lead at this point, and he'd like to have a little stage money to show for it.
This is the type of challenge that plays well for Keith. He's deceptively flexible for a big man, and that pays off here. 10 for 10 in a best for the match time of 86.77.
Went pretty good. I knew it was going to be pressed for time. There was a lot of small targets, a lot of movement, so I just dialed and went as fast as I could, tried to step it up a notch.
Keith separates himself from Jake Vibbert in second and racks up his first stage money. Bradley Allen maintains the lead, but only by 1 point.
Matt Utroska and Brian Allen pull out of last as Austin Orgain backs into that position after posting a 6 on stage 7.
The next challenge will be stage 6. 2 targets set at 722 yards, 1 shot on each from 6 positions in the cross-tie barricade.
This one will be a slugfest for 2 of the shooters at the bottom of the leaderboard, Matt Utroska and Austin Orgain. It's shot for shot with both competitors dropping just 1 shot.
Austin chose to use a tripod for his rear support. It's solid, but it adds another piece to move from position to position. At the end, Matt is just a few seconds faster than Austin, giving him his first stage money.
I had a good hold on my position and saw where it missed, and so I just adjusted and was pretty rock solid through all of those, and just let it eat.
Many of the front runners have struggled here,
but none as bad as Ben Gossett and current leader Bradley Allen.
Wrong target.
0 points each. That sends Bradley to the 0 range, scratching his head.
It was dead on yesterday and this morning, so I'm on 3-0 and try it again. Just sucks that I got a 0 out of 10 on that one.
Stage 6 shook up the leaderboard in a big way. Bradley Allen backs out of the lead, falling to 5th. Keith Baker is now out front.
Austin Orgain and Matt Utroska move to mid-pack, and Brian Allen takes his turn in last.
Stage 5 is the final event for day 1. There are 3 targets at the 400-yard berm, a 13, an 11, and an 8-inch diamond.
There are 7 possible positions on the dual tank trap obstacle. Competitors may select any 4 of the upper positions and engage the target array with 1 shot each. Hit or miss, and move on.
The final position is prone, 1 shot at the 8-inch target. A total of 13 points are up for grabs.
Justin Watts will be the first in the order to clean stage 5, all 13 points in 86.94.
Stage 5 should see a strong performance from Ben Gossett. This is right up his alley.
I love positional shooting. 100% comfortable with it, but if I'm going to go to a match, I hope it's predominantly positional.
Coming off that 0 on stage 6, this one is a good recovery for Ben. 13 points, 85.25 seconds.
That felt good. Felt good, especially to end on that one. It's definitely been challenging, even after I zeroed, but it's on now. So, yeah, clean the first one of the day and then end it on a clean, so it's a good deal.
It's a solid confidence booster to end on a clean stage run. Keith Baker has the added benefit of sitting alone in first place overall, and this is his kind of stage.
These targets are pretty generous, working down to a 2 MOA for the small one. It's designed to make these guys go fast, and Keith is doing exactly that. Into his prone position for the final shot. 85.13 is best for the match.
Pretty good indeed. Day 2 of the AG Cup is next. Well, here are the standings at the beginning of day 2. Keith Baker all alone in front with 2 stage wins. Jake Vibbert 2 points behind him.
And Matt Utroska and John Pinch are 2 points behind him. And as we look through the mid-pack, we can see where the rest of the day 1 stage money went. Joe Walls is the only competitor besides Keith that has 2 stage wins.
Well, there are 10 unique courses of fire to do on day 2 and $10,000 more in stage money ready to be had, plus the weather's on the way. Let's get to the action.
It's the morning of day 2 at the Armageddon Gear AG Cup, and right away there's a feeling that the weather is going to play a role.
First stage of the day will be another positional challenge. Stage 15, 2 barrels, 2 positions, 2 shots each, strong side, and 2 shots each, support side.
The targets are smaller this time. a 6-inch circle and a 6-inch diamond at 431 yards. John Pinch goes 8 for 8.
That was a good one for me, so I needed it.
Austin is smooth and deliberate on stage 15, moving in and out of position, plays to his strong suit. He's got 8 points in 67.49 seconds. That's a stage win.
We got more wind today, which I like, so hopefully today goes better than yesterday.
That early event win makes Austin the third to earn $2,000 in stage money.
Keith Baker drops 1, allowing Jake Vibbert to close the gap to just 1 point. The next course of fire will be one that these shooters are all too familiar with, the PRS Skill Stage Barricade. A single target, 10 inches at 400 yards. 4 positions on the barricade, 2 shots from each, 8 points up for grabs.
And with everyone having experience on this course of fire, they'll have an idea of what they can and will do.
It kind of depends on, honestly, what time of the day I'm shooting it and how I've shot the match. If I'm shooting a match really well, I will slow down a little bit and make 100% sure I get my shots in. You know, usually my target time's somewhere in the 50-second range.
You know, I can shoot the PRS barricade 20 times and I'm generally within a 5-second window. I'm not fast. I'm a 60 to 65-second guy on the PRS barricade. There's guys that do that in almost half the time. I'm all about accuracy. I want to make my shots count.
I've done it in 36, 38 seconds before, running fast. I usually do it in matches at about 60. I don't ever push for time in matches, ever. So I'm not going to do it here either.
I'm not a fast shooter. I typically try and stay in like the 65-second times. If I rush it, I'm gonna end up pulling something. So I'm gonna just try and stay true to my game.
So the PRS skill stage has been a very controversial stage for me lately. For some reason this past year, I've ended up managing to shank shots on that joker more times than not. If I am on a very smooth run, around the mid-40s. And that's a pretty smooth run. So about 45 to 50 seconds is about a par time for me.
Fastest time was 35 seconds. I won't shoot that here tomorrow. I shot it in 36, right to left on the barricade, which is what I don't do, and then I shot it left to right, which is how I normally shoot it, and shot it in 35. When I shoot in a match, I average somewhere around 50 to 55.
Low 40s, 41 to 43, I would say, would be a fairly fast time for me.
So far, the predictions have been pretty spot on. Dave Preston's estimate, however, will end up being conservative. He is the only shooter to break the 40-second barrier.
That $1,000 event win belongs to Dave Preston.
And I told myself I was going to go fast until I missed, and then I'd slow it down to make sure I got my hits, but I kept hitting, so I ran it fast, and that's actually the fastest I've ever run it in an actual match.
Dave Preston gets into the money, and there are now 9 competitors with event wins.
Keith Baker, along with 14 others, takes all 8 points possible. Jake Vibbert is among the 6 who drop points, putting him 2 points out of the lead. The events of day 2 continue. We'll be back after the break. 2 events took place while we were away, and there is no change at the lead.
Justin Watts and Brandon Hembry both win stage money, and unfortunately, Dave Preston had to withdraw from the event due to a family emergency.
Stage 13 will be a tricky one.
A little tricky.
5 positions with corresponding animal-shaped targets. Competitors must move after each shot. The coyote target is the long one at 585 yards.
This is one of the more challenging stages in the match, and competitors are feeling the pressure.
Train wreck. The train was coming down the tracks. It took me out.
Redo. Mulligan. Man.
It's tough. It's as simple as that.
Stage 13 will not go well for current leader Keith Baker.
Probably the one kind of stage I run into, and I didn't have enough time to sit there and watch it through my head. My biggest concern coming into this, not being able to sit here and watch the course of fire and go through it in my head and being away from the firing line.
Jake Vibbert has a chance to capitalize here. Keith stumbled, now can Jake make it count?
7 total won't win the stage money, but it does change the order in the overall. Solid shooting when it counts.
You got to dial a lot, you got to move a lot. Challenging stage. I'm lucky to come away with the 7, so I'll take it.
The 3-point swing puts Jake in front by a point, and Bradley Allen wins the stage with a 9, racking up another 1,000 in stage money. With only a handful of events remaining, the pressure is really on as the competitors attack stage 18.
2 targets at 542 and 6 positions on the tires. A total of 12 points are available here.
The troubles continue for Keith Baker on the tires. Keith will go on to drop 8 of the 12 available points.
Justin Watts has been steadily gaining traction throughout day 2. Stage 18 is a strong performance for him.
An 8 here is turning out to be a respectable score.
Impact.
Justin seems to be pleased with it.
Impact.
I dropped 4 on it. I took my time and made sure they count. They're super wobbly.
Top scores on the stage will come from Ken Sanowski and Austin Orgain. Both will rack up 11 hits, but neither is a threat to the overall lead at this point.
Austin is 16/100ths of a second faster than Ken, giving him his 3rd event win for the match.
Man, I dropped 1, and what was weird, it was probably the steadiest position I had. I think I was probably catching some edges and just slipped one off the edge.
The backward slide continues for Keith Baker as Jake Vibbert manages a 7 on the tires.
Austin is now the only competitor with 3 event wins and just 3 points out of the lead. Yeah, this is $20,000 cash in big bills. All right, and it is going in the cup.
And we'll find out who takes it home as we run down the final stages next. 2 events took place while we were away, and Jake Vibbert wins his first stage money.
Bradley Allen wins another stage, bringing him tied with Austin Orgain for stage money, and steady shooting by Justin Watts now has him neck and neck with Bradley Allen, 4 points behind Jake Vibbert.
2 events left to be shot. Let's get to the action. Stage 20 will be the longest shots of the Armageddon Gear AG Cup. 5 18 by 24-inch rectangles marked with orange placards.
The first one is at 800 yards, 2 shots.
Next is 900, and you can see the recoil transferring through the platform and into the target camera. You can imagine what it looks like through Derek's scope.
The third is at 1119, 2 shots. Fourth target, 1223. 2 shots there, and finally, 1353.
10 points possible, and Derek Love just took all 10, just as the rain begins to fall.
The big news on stage 20, Jake Vibbert gives a little ground back to the field.
That stumble gives Bradley Allen a chance. A clean score of 10 will pull him even with Jake for the lead. But he only musters 7 points on the stage.
Justin Watts also has a real chance to pull even with Jake in the overall. His first shot at the third target ends that. Even so, Justin manages 8 points, giving him the edge on Bradley for second.
With one event to go, Jake holds on to the top spot. Justin is just 2 points back, and Brantley is now third. And Derek Love joins the group with stage money in the bank.
This sets the stage for the final event. It's 2 runs through the Innovative Targets KYL. Set at 485 yards, 10 points possible.
Justin will be first. And with a 1-point lead on Brantley, a clean run here will guarantee him second place overall. That shot just slips off the smallest plate.
Second run through the rack now. That smallest target is just 2.5 inches. This time he connects for 9 points.
Austin Orgain is next. He's no longer a threat to take the overall lead, but he wants another grand for the stage win.
Clean through the first pass. And just like that, another 1,000 is his.
Nice run, man.
Semi-auto over here.
Man, I shot it really fast. I kind of knew I had to go for it, and got lucky and hit the small targets.
Now it's Bradley's turn, and with Austin claiming stage money, there's no point in racing. Brantley needs 10 hits to pull even with Justin.
You can see the rain falling in the target camera, and you can see that Brantley's rifle is wet. That's causing the occasional sticky bolt throw. He's smooth and deliberate on the bolt, and that pays off. 10 for 10 is as good as it gets.
Jake knows that this match is now his to lose. An 8 or better on this stage, and he will win the Armageddon Gear AG Cup.
First pass through the rack is clean. There's 6, 7, and he's done it.
So there it is, the AG Cup. The winner of the 2019 inaugural AG Cup, Jake Vibbert.
What a finish, and our congratulations go to Jake Vibbert, taking $21,000 in prize money.
And Bradley Allen finishes second by virtue of a shoot-off, and he takes home $3,000 in stage money.
Justin Watts rounds out the podium with a grand in his pocket. Overall, 12 of the 20 competitors walk away with cash.
So $41,000 total given away. 12 of the competitors leave with money in their pockets. I believe this is a great start to what is the Armageddon Gears AG Cup.
Well, we've done it. 100,000 subscribers and growing, and for that, we thank you. If you're interested in seeing full-length current Shooting USA shows, literally the morning after they debut on the network, there's a link in the video description below. A modest subscription price gets you access to over 50 hours of full-length current Shooting USA shows. If you're enjoying the YouTube content, please consider subscribing, leave a like and a comment. It really helps with the algorithm.